That's what it is. And then your actual static route with a hop count of 1. All right, cool. So let's go to the second router over here. All right, let me show you how that looks like right now. That's why we couldn't get across. Me and ergonomic keyboards do not get along. So you can see we're just connected. We don't know about anything else. So we're going to say config T, IP, route, default route, match anything, right? Any network, any mask, and just send it to the next guy, right? Which is my neighbor. And then I'm gonna do an actual static route, IP route. I'm gonna go to the 192.168.100.0 network that has its mask through my neighbor. So if you have both of these configured, since you do have an entry in your routing table, it's not gonna use the default route, it's gonna use the static route. Because if there is an entry in your routing table for that network, it's gonna use that, okay? We have DNS configured on this particular router right here. And we played around with the HTML. And then in the router, we actually created default routes and a static route. So you can see the difference. The default routes will have an S and an asterisk, okay? And then the only purpose for that, I said it at the beginning, is the fact that if you do not have an entry for that particular network, we'll use the default route. But in our case, we did a static route, so there's an entry. So if you were to get asked the question, this is the, let me open it up so you can see what I'm saying. I'm telling you. Okay, so let's get rid of all this. Let's do a brand swipe here. So if you get asked the question, based on this following output, and you're trying to get to the 200 network, will you use the default route or a static route? You will use the static route because it's an actual entry in the routing table, and that's what the router looks at first. If there is no entry, then it will use the default route. So you have to keep that in mind, okay? So these are the type of questions that they'll ask. We see that this was easy. We took it nice and slow, and we configured it, okay? So now people always ask me this question, Labs, where's this lab? It's in the video. Pause the video, take a snippet of it, connect, create your lab, because you got to learn. Create your lab, and then slowly but surely, as you go, pause, grab the information,